record my screen or not.
Okay.
Well, I'll just let you do it. And if it turns out to be a good, useful recording, maybe you can send me a copy.
I will do that.
All right. All right. Let's start with Respondus. You have Respondus installed, right?
I believe so. But we won't worry about that. We'll assume I've got it. Because, James, the thing that is the thing I want us to focus on is taking a text file and importing it into using Respondus to import it into D2L.
Right. Okay. Let me start by, I've got somebody in nursing sent me this the other day, wanted me to upload her final exam, which I did pretty easily because she knows how to format the questions and the answers,
Okay.
so that Respondus likes it. Do you know about this, the format that you need?
I think so. And it will now take Word because I was told when I first did it, it would only take .txt files.
Right. Yeah, I generally convert them first to TXT files because they're a lot quicker to edit if I need to make edits. But in this case, hers was just fine, so we can use it. But the format, just for your recording, is you put the question number, the question text, and then the possible answers, A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, 4, whichever you prefer, and that can be changed later, and we'll cover that. You have to indicate which one is the correct answer with an asterisk to the
Okay.
left of it. So you see all of these, all look the same. They're all multiple choice. I think maybe some true falses, but those are essentially multiple choice with only 2 choices. So we've got a good file here with a good example of 75 questions. So don't save that, that's fine. Here's the text file that I converted it to. It's the same format, question number, question text, multiple answers, and the correct answer designated with an asterisk.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got a good file to start with.
Boy, that's a hard test.
Not if you know the answers.
Yeah, and I don't.
Well, just give me a call. I've got the cheat sheet right here. I've got the teacher's edition of the book. Okay, so what we want to do is in Respondus, what we're going to want to do is import questions from a text file, you could say, or Word document. Click that, and the first thing is select the file to import. And these are our options: plain text, rich text, Word, doc. I'm just going to go with the plain text. It'll be the same with any of those because that file is right there.
I'll call you, Mike.
Okay, select the file, and we have to give this a title. Now this is the Respondus project file. It doesn't matter what you call it. This doesn't affect what it gets imported into into your course. Though if you type final exam, something like that, it'll populate the title for your D2L test.
Okay.
You can modify that or not. We'll get to that later, but just for this purpose, we're just going to call it final exam. Let's call it final exam 2. Then we click preview, and what it did was it read the text file and it sorted everything out as the 75 questions. And you can look at any of these that you want to. The thing to notice is down here, if there are any warnings or notes that are critical, you'll have to address those. Like question 30 didn't have the correct answer marked. You'll have to go change that. Mostly what you'll see is duplicate question titles. That's not critical. That doesn't really affect much of anything. It's just a notice. Okay, so we've imported the file. Let's click Finish. It's going to save the project. Or, yeah, save the project file. And this is where we can make changes to the quiz before we upload it. You can add new questions. Any kind of questions they have here. You can create a test in Respondus, actually, if you want to do it that way. Or what we can do is preview each question. This is how it will be displayed.
And how did you do that?
I just click the little magnifying glass icon.
Okay. Okay.
Here. You can also edit it. If you need to change it, it'll populate it up here. You can make whatever changes you want. If everything is correct, actually, what else can you can move the questions around, change the order, etc. But if it all looks good, we're going to proceed to the settings. And let's see, what do we want to put in here maybe? Now, these are settings you can also do in D2L. You can do it in Respondus and it'll be pushed to D2L, or you can push it plain Jane into D2L and make your changes there.
Okay.
Things like you can make it active or inactive. You know what all these settings are: start date and end date, time limit, grace period. Once you're familiar with this in D2L, you'll know what all of these refer to. How many attempts you give the students, the layout. Now this may be worth noting. You can change the the answer numbering, multiple choice, to 1, 2, 3, 4, or A, B, C, D, lowercase, uppercase, what have you, Roman numerals, etc. I'm going to set this as lowercase alphabetical, how many questions per page, etc. Now let's go on to preview and publish. This is where we will want to make sure everything looks good and then push it to the server. If you want to preview the quiz, this is what it'll look like. You can step through all the questions. This is what it'll look like to the students. They obviously won't see this, but it's just at least ideally they won't. You can skip to and so forth. When you're done with that, if you need to modify it, you can click the modify item, or if it's good, close this, and then we'll go to publish. All right, now the publish wizard. If you've never used Respondus, you will be asked to create a new server or add new server. Now I'll show you sort of what that looks like. It'll be this page, and here's what you'll do. You'll go to any page on D2L, copy the URL, come back over here and paste it, and it will extract the server domain, which, as you can see, is just that. It doesn't matter what else is in here. What it wants is that. So it'll get that. Just push the extract button and it'll pull out the part that it needs. You'll give it a description, call it the D2L server or online classes, whatever you want. Mine's just D2L. You can put in your username and password if you want to. If you do that, you can tell it to remember your username and password. If this is a shared computer, uncheck this box. Okay, now let's see. I'm going to cancel that. You'll want to save that when you're done setting this up, and then you'll have your Brightspace server. If you want to add a new server, you can go through the process again. But once you've got it, it'll look like this. So if that's what you've got, you'll be good. And press next to connect to the server. And if you didn't tell it to save your username and password, this is where you'll put that in. Now I've got a test account, just a dummy account, which I'm going to use to demonstrate. Log in with your usual D2L username and password. And it doesn't take it long. It's connected to the server, and it's pulled down the list of courses that I'm enrolled in as an instructor. So I've just got a couple of test courses. Doesn't matter where we put this. This is where you can give it whatever name you want. If you want to replace an existing quiz, you can do that. But if you just want to create a new one, just type in the name, final exam. And if you have set any of the settings like start date, end date, and so forth, and you want to push those as well, you can. We didn't cover applying random sections because this is just the basic. This is 101. You can come back for the 102 section later. Okay, we'll leave those checked. That'll be fine. That's our new quiz title. Click next, and it's doing all the work. This is what I like. We just import the files and click a few buttons, and Respondus does all the work.
Yeah, that's the big deal because I have some colleagues who have well-established multiple choice exams. As they migrate online, they're going to want to be able to do this.
Okay, well, if they've got it in a Word document format, man, that just makes it so much easier. I mean, if somebody's got to take a piece of paper, a paper exam, 4 pages of questions, and type them all in, that's when it gets tedious. That's why we have TAs, I think. Okay, so it has completed successfully. We click finish, and we are done with that. And now let's go over to, I want to look for, can't remember where I put that. I think I put it in rubric test. I hope that's the one. Okay, that looks like it. There's my spring final exam. That's the one we just uploaded. And there are the 75 questions that I didn't have to type in.
Very good.
And yeah, we didn't put any restrictions on it, but of course this is where you would do that start date, end date, etc. And that's all there is to it.
Okay.
Is that all pretty straightforward? You got any questions? Need clarification on anything?
No, I will. I've got this video, and I'll have it to play as I go through the drill.
Okay. All right. Well, feel free to give me a shout or tell anybody that you show this to if they have questions. Just give me a shout. Yeah, they may need the Respondus download link and the installation password. Some people in the College of Business are having to get IT to install it for them on their computers because they don't have admin rights.
Right.
So I don't know what it's like in your office or around there, but just be advised that some of them may not be able to install it. But I can send them the link and the installation license key. Just anybody that needs it, just send me an email and I'll send it back to them.
Thank you very much.
All righty. Take care, Jeff.
Have a good day, sir.